Education USA Abuja, do you have a second question?
Yes, we do have a second question. My name is Shade. I'm one of the Education USA advisors. I have a question about should we worry about if the school doesn't call for an interview at the graduate level? Should we insist for an interview from a graduate program, or should we just assume that schools will just review the applications and get back to us? Because we see a lot of discrepancies. Some schools call for interviews and some schools don't interview at all. So should it be a worry for the graduate students?
Okay, thank you very much for an excellent question. To what extent, how should students balance interviews? If they're required, if they're not required, should they still take initiative to ask for an interview? And if an interview is optional, what is the best policy? Murphy.
Sure, I think that's a really important question to be asking. I would say, again, this is an opportunity where you should be paying very close attention to the specific guidelines set forth by any admissions office, whether it's undergraduate admissions office or graduate admissions office, depending on the program. So really kind of make sure that you're going through the website with a fine-tooth comb and understanding what is going to be required of you and what might not be required, what's optional, what's encouraged. I would say that if an interview is optional, if it's an optional component of the application process, we would encourage you to take advantage of that. I think you have to sort of balance that with your personal strengths, of course. So if you feel like interviewing is a really great opportunity for you to showcase yourself as an individual and as a learner, then that might be a great thing to take advantage of. If it's not necessarily your strong suit, then you might think about not taking advantage of that opportunity if it's optional. But again, I think it's an important time to really hone in on the specific guidelines of the particular program.
What if it's not optional, if it's simply not required at all, there's no mention of it, would you still reach out to the school if it's, say, I'm a great interviewer, I want to show how well I can interact with people? Is it something that students should propose?
Sure. I mean, I think it doesn't hurt to ask. You don't know if you don't ask, so I think it can be a great opportunity for you to make a connection with the admissions office to demonstrate your interest and the fact that you really do want to put your best foot forward in this application process. That will never look bad.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Susan
in Chicago.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Also, once again, for a creative arts school, interviews are usually required. The departments will conduct those interviews. So after an application comes in, the admissions team will review that application and then send the application to the relevant department for review. I think most schools in the United States have a fairly sophisticated application system. This means that applications are going to go through the process. They're going to be reviewed, then decisions will be made, or then they'll be passed off to the department, then decisions will be made. If a student is interested in an interview, definitely reach out to the admissions counselors. Our job here is to help support students applying to the college. And I think my colleagues would also agree, we are here to help you. So if you have any questions whatsoever, just definitely reach out to the departments or to the admissions office.
Thank you, Susan. Karen.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So an interview is just not a part of our process at all. But having said that, we still want to get to know you. So you don't really need to use the word interview, but find reasons to reach out to the admissions counselors. Ask us questions. Any student applying will have some kind of question about something. So please don't hesitate to email us, call us, email us to set up, a Skype session. And I can guarantee you that when it comes to reviewing and decisioning applications, even though there's no interview piece that we're looking at when we evaluate, if we have gotten to know an applicant, if we know that that person has reached out to us, has made an effort, has made a connection, has really impressed us with their insightful questions, we know that that person has made an effort to make sure that we know who they are and what great qualities they would bring to our campus. That really impresses us, and that sticks in our mind. And that's a very, very good thing when we are evaluating the applications. So even if you don't think about it as an interview, reach out to us, get to know us, make sure that we know who you are. It's generally always a good thing.
Thank you very much, Karen, and thank you to all three of our panelists. That's a very nice way of thinking about the applications process, that it's interactive and that students, in fact, can do things on their own to communicate who they are without being overbearing, but reaching out and making sure that it's not just pro forma, but that they are really taking steps to be known as individuals and as student applicants. So thank you.